can go on.
Hi, traders. Dale at TradeGATEHub.com, joined by my trading warrior brother, Mike Venezia.
Good morning.
Mike, how are you? Some decent rotation going on, but before we get talking about that, I just wanted to point out how the 200-day is holding back WTI right now. You had a pretty good pullback here. I think as long as we stay above 71, that we're going to break out to the upside.
Yeah.
So oil's looking good. The dollar's trying to bounce, not much there. I'm trying a little short-term short, and the euro up here. I don't think this is the bottom of the dollar or top of the euro, although we're getting closer. And gold exploding, 1983, silver over 25 now. So we'll see if I was right. I was definitely wrong to sell my silver shares. The ones that I follow, this one really had a nice run. That's Endeavor.
Listen, they all are.
And Fortuna, nice run. And, a lot of the gold stocks, GDX, but I'm not extremely bullish. I think we're close to completing, and this is going to be a pretty important area, this 33.
I took some off. I took some off, and I saw your thumbs up in the room when I took some partials, and that made me feel good, whether I'm right or wrong, or we're right or wrong. Yeah, appreciated that, and that's what I thought as well. So
yeah, and GFI from 13, decent bounce, $3, but now back up here at resistance. So let's get to your bailiwick, Mike, and at least early in the session, we're seeing some pretty good rotation. I did a Real Vision spot yesterday, and NVIDIA and AMD were my featured short candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with all the strength that we've had the last couple of days, this day on Friday in AMD was kind of negative, and if we start taking out 110, I think there's 85 in it. And we have to admit that NVIDIA really and we have to admit that NVIDIA really got the whole party going with AI and becoming parabolic. And to me, if you see the RSI here on the daily, plus
that's worth noting. Very good.
Plus this one, even on the 4-hour. So, the indexes were not diverging on the 4-hour, but NVIDIA did. And I think there's a chance that we could be setting up a pretty good top here, and that we could go for a gap fill over the next couple months down here.
Well, we have earnings season coming up, and I'm going to tell you, it's debatable yet. Now you're hearing price to perfection. So there's a lot. Some stocks are acting well after earnings, granted, but it's still stock picking to agree. Every pocket of rotation is all red or all green on the screen.
Yeah, it's tech. It looks like they're coming out of big cap tech. I saw you post that in the main room, and they're rotating into what here, Mike? Because when's the last time you saw NASDAQ down?
Industrials, oils, and industrials, oils, and metals.
Okay,
and so they're still squeezing a handful of stuff. Listen,
the old economy.
They're selling all the stocks that make sense, and then any money that they made buying these mega caps, they're putting into Carvana, which is $41, up 10%. They're putting stocks into Wayfair, which is now $73. As I said before, you have stocks like CF. How about punch up the chart on CF, Coach? You got it?
Okay, I will, but I just want to also update our viewers on news. Russia canceled the grain deals.
That's why I was going to bring it up.
Yeah, okay. So, but the beans are still the strength. They're trying to break out the new highs. And even corn is coming out of the hole. So if you have corns, don't go to the podiatrist. They may be worth more.
You know what's funny?
Down the road.
I have a partner of mine in one of my horses.
Yeah.
He's a farmer in Iowa, a big farmer in Iowa. He's a very wealthy man. He planted $5.6 million worth of seeds this year. That's his, that's his cost structure, if you will. And he's saying that this year, and this guy's, trust me, he's a player. I'm just talking, he's a player. And he said that this year, it's with all the rain, that there's going to be the quality of the crops are never going to be the best they've ever been.
Yeah, and he's going to, you know, Mike, I've been telling people for about 6 months, even if they're not in the agricultural business, to build a silo and fill it up with grain.
It was the same thing. Remember when crude oil was negative?
Yeah.
You could have bought crude oil and stored it in your garage.
Yeah.
And bought it. Could have bought a tanker.
You can't eat oil though, or gold.
But you can't eat gold. But you know what? You can drink water. And if and whenever there's an apocalypse, water is going to be worth more than a bar of gold. Believe me.
Yeah, and the guys with the guns are coming for it.
I already know that. I live in I spend my summers in the Adirondacks and mountains of New York, and believe me, they got them. They got them stockpiled. I'm in. Yeah.
All right, so you know, that's my spiel for today, is really seeing this rapid rotation. You know, I wanted to ask you one question because you're a master at this.
Okay.
I've seen you say we have extreme optimism sentiment wise in this market, yet you still have the ability to stay long and keep riding this to the upside, where most guys, including myself, would say, God, you know, I really, you know, it's hard to be with all that company.
Well, on the same side, why am I shorting things on the opposites? You know, there's always a long and a short, but Coach.
But you can, you know, you don't let that affect you. I mean, you're just, you know why? I think I can answer my own question because of your method.
No, it is a process.
It's your process.
It hurts sometimes, but listen, the one thing if I can be personal, that I don't really like what's going on right now is the lack of range and parameters in my trading. You know what I mean? Instead of putting money on the board every day, the swings are being a little bit normal. God willing, look what the VIX is, for crying out loud. But if the VIX was higher, everybody knows that the rules, I said, when VIX 25-30, there's no reason to take overnighting risk. And my greatest acumen, as you said, is, you know, basically being to adapt in day trading. And, you know, until the VIX is here at this level, I'm going to, you know, keep, you know, the lack of the VIX means basically that this, you know, lack of volatility. So the stocks that keep going up, and there's very little reversals until that stops to abate.
Okay, I just want to point something out, that the VIX bottomed around the solstice on the 23rd at 12.5, about.
No,
like
it doesn't look bad. I
1270, right? And you know, we've made all these new successive highs. I mean, we had a blow off the last 3 weeks, right? And yet the VIX is still holding the lows and trying to put in a higher low. So,
well, that's it. But you know what? And they're taking a lot of these low floaters up still. And you know what? What would be bearish with them to be going into mega caps, which has been the safe haven, for lack of a better term, and sell off all these little low floaters. You know what I mean? Upstart.
Okay. All right. So,
plug,
you know, I want to know what you're seeing today in your option sweeps, and take us around the board. Give us a tour of your menu.
Okay, that's a good.
You can tell I'm hungry.
Coach. I appreciate it.
I didn't have breakfast.
That's okay.
I'm pretty hungry.
You hungry?
Yeah.
Hungry dogs run faster, Coach. I'm not really familiar with
Not this hungry dog.
All right, listen. Okay, like I said,
not anymore, bro. Go ahead.
I've been hearing that a lot lately. All right, here are the megas. You know, they pulled back a little bit. Sans maybe Netflix, Tesla. Doesn't mean it's one day down. Doesn't mean it's a reversal. Keep an eye on it. Could just as easily.
Look at that divergence there, though, Mike.
No, Coach, I get it.
That's like a 3 drive there. I'd be careful being long up here. You had a nice ride. I remember when we.
You know what? That is a 3 drive.
Yeah, it is a 3 drive. 1, 2, 3, and yeah, RSI not confirming the last couple highs. Anyway, be careful long Tesla. I remember back in the spring, after the first wave up, we said, "Wow, you know, I think we'll be able to buy at 150." So, you know, that was a buy down there under 160. And that you've had a nice ride. So, you know, I'm not saying go out and short it when I have these 3 drives, if you know, think it's just, you know, a phenomenon, because they don't all work. But it is probably smart to take some profits. I'm not saying you have to reverse and go short, but, you know, and you don't have to blow it all out. trade like Mike. He pieces out. If I'd be piecing out of some
Even on the
Tesla.
short side of him piecing up instead of saying I'm not drawing the line, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So we know the golds are flying. You know what surprised me? Strength in financials.
Well, you
Because
know what?
I've been pretty bearish financials, and what's that right there? That looks pretty good.
It looks
Risk.
Capri, and I'm seeing a Capri. They actually make Coach bags, and I'm seeing a
Okay.
lot of retailing calls going by. And by the way, as you were talking, I was listening to that naturally. I saw my option flow because I was getting ready for your previous question, and that was one that came on. So that's Capri retailer.
Oh, okay. That's a nice base. At least you know where you're wrong on a trade like that, right? Get out at new lows.
Well, yeah, it almost looks like the VIX here. There's the new low here
Yeah.
where it was. Never
Right.
made a new low again.
Yeah.
And now it's look like it's rolling up and it needs the volume. Listen, it's got
Yeah. There's
option
no
flow. I was
volume.
preparing. It's not a barn burner, but I was getting preparing for you, prepared for your previous question. All right,
Okay.
bottom line is this. Where are we? Option flow. Let's see what's going on today. Let me answer that first. So if we go longer, everybody at least got a plan of what the wise guys are doing. Okay. Listen, this is earnings week, so it might not be that specific. There's going to be a lot of rolling sweeps. There's going to be a lot of hedging. And who wouldn't hedge into a stock, that's been doing here? Okay, let's go. CVS calls, November. I'm interested. CVS, here's a rounded bottom. A retailer. It's part of the rotation, but partly, if you will, part of rotation.
That looks
I
pretty
know it's a
good.
little overbought, maybe long term, but this is building. What type of chart is it? A cup and handle or a base, whatever it call, coach, right?
Yeah, it's a nice looking little bottom,
All
maybe
right,
like
here's the
an 8.
weekly. You would probably say it's going to 80 if it could,
Yeah.
because you know you like that. So here you go. Let's look at the other one, Walgreens. No good. So what I don't like is that Walgreens is not participating. I would like, okay, so they're trying to get fancy and somebody's positioning CVS calls. It's a lot of them, by the way, November 80s, and that's good. So I don't like how they're bifurcated, if you will. Kind of
Yeah.
WBA, Walgreens, and CVS kind of do go together, and they always have that Amazon hangover with them into the pharmacy areas.
Amazon doesn't look so good to me. Look at the RSI, even after that big earning, the big whatever their day that people celebrate. It gapped up, and it looks like we've gapped down. It may even be a little island, but that last gap up on Prime Day looks like exhaustion to me.
You know what, Coach? In that norm, listen, if reading the chart, no question. Kind of figuring out what's underneath the chart may be a different story because, as you said, it's still in a nice trend here. A very one, and I got you. Don't get me wrong. I'll play it either way, and I could see what you mean. Not to placate, but one day could take them. Basing it the short-term 8-day. They could take this up as a bull flag and take it right back up.
It's pretty unusual for a market to gap up and not get a confirmation of momentum on a gap, and that's what Amazon did.
Okay.
And that's what Microsoft did. Microsoft looks a little better, but Microsoft doesn't look that great either. It tried to make a new high last week. Maybe it needs to just, pick off any stops above there. But AMD looks tired to me.
I'll give you a trade. You asked about
Not
financials.
AMD. I mean, Amazon.
Here's Schwab. Now, Schwab, listen, nobody
Oh,
wanted
wow. What was that,
wanted
earnings?
46.
Yeah.
And by the way, Chuck was buying all the way down. If you want to Google Charles Schwab insider buying, Chuck said he was buying. So, okay, nice move.
Well, they're going to come into a lot of new accounts because
I don't know.
I have a TD.
Look at Robinhood. They're coming into a lot of new accounts. They're now
TD Ameritrade accounts are moving over to Schwab now.
Oh,
okay, because I have a TD Ameritrade account that's going to be moving over to Schwab.
So
anyway,
Schwab safe they price action range volume dues.
Yeah.
Party sub the effects of pulling back. The 200-day was what? Top left 67.33. Here's my arrow. Then I went to the weekly. What was going to happen?
Wow.
Then my week. Okay, so I actually made a decent short today, right near the 200-day, which was what? 60, right? 66.76.
Yeah.
And I covered it what? 65.06. So I made $2.70 on the trade.
Yeah, just fading the open.
Now I'm short Morgan Stanley. Morgan.
Let's see it.
Now I'm short Morgan. Here's my average price of 91.15, the solid green line.
Yeah.
Right before it came on, I was almost up in it. Has earnings tonight. This one I'm going to get out of because this might have might have a little bit more juice in the punch bowl. And why
That's
did
Morgan Stanley?
Yeah, why did I decide to short it there as opposed to anyone, including Goldman Sachs, which I believe has earnings tonight or tomorrow? Goldman Sachs.
All of a sudden, Goldman looks good from lagging. Now even Goldman looks good.
Now, Morgan,
like I said,
the
financials have surprised me here.
How about Wells Fargo? That was a nice trade.
Yeah.
Still is a nice trade. I'm gonna buy more of this. Anyway, Morgan Stanley, I don't think it's going to 90 or going back to 80, but this was the chart. If I can go to the long terms, it was an entry point. Here's the gap right here, this red line where I entered it. So here is a gap right here at 92.80. I got a little bit early in the I'm gonna get out of it. My average price is 91.17. I'm wrong. I'm early. I don't think it's gonna. I might even get out now. So I thought it would pull the same as Chuck. It kind of didn't, but Morgan Stanley hanging in there, JP and the boys, after breaking that new year high, then pulling back on precipitous volume, as you can see here. This red line where it closed on the low.
Yeah.
Now that was the chance where they could have done something differently to it. They just took it up, they sold it, it absorbed it. Now it's at a new high.
See the difference between the RSI pattern on this compared to NVIDIA? We're confirming the highs here.
That's a nice point, by the way.
You could tell a lot from RSI structure.
Oh,
not just if something's overbought or oversold, but does the move have legs? Is there signs of exhaustion and a potential turning point? So learn to use RSI not in simplistic ways of 80 is overbought and 20 is oversold, and I'll just fade.
Listen, when you do those type of trades, and trust me, I do them, you have to look for a volume capitulation. You have to have everybody say that's it. You just can't have them piecing out, inching up and inching out, because it'll bleed you to death. But look at what we're seeing here on Citi 45 seconds ago. Citi, which, by the way, let me go to the chart before
that's
I
NVIDIA. Yeah.
What's that?
And Citi looked negative last week.
Well, here's the Citi. And now, listen, that was the worst one for a while. Now, things might have changed. I might have caught people opposite the other way. Now, granted, it's not a barn burner, but it could be more emblematic of the market move of rotation in the banks in general. But I seeing some bull betting alongside the other banks today. Unless really sweepers really start to get aggressive, check open interest for changes tomorrow or a cleaner look. They might be saying, listen, I've missed most of the banks on the long side. Maybe just try to see if I can hit some lotto on some calls. So I will check the open interest and I'll see if the price action holds true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next, Walmart bullish. Foot Locker, anti-VIX were a little bit overbought for the short term. That was 3 minutes ago. Roblox calls continuing to go. Somebody's going to score here because, as I said, this has been a range-bound stock for some time. It just can't break. It's been between 45 and 41, and any stock that has had that rubber band one way or the other has really already snapped. And this one, I'm still seeing the calls going off, but nothing's happening yet. So what I was told is the longer something takes for something that you think is going to happen, the more bearish or the wrong you can be.
You know what? I agree with you.
CVS.
Because they're giving people too many opportunities to participate.
Correct.
The good ones just, leave a lot of people in the dust.
No, Coach, well put, really. CVS, believe what you want. Don't kill the messenger. Another rotation.
I get my prescriptions from there, Mike.
From
it's pretty
CVS.
bullish, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I get
one from Mexico, but I'm trying to work that way up. Morgan Stanley bullish, Walmart. So nothing really.
Financials. Financials.
The only thing that I've really seen, and listen, here you go. NE bullish into January, oil driller bullish.
All right.
So you get the picture. Until then, stocks with
there was a gold GLD bearish wise guy action right before you went away from.
All right, we got Sully just knew. Hi guys, first post, and you know what? Sully knows what he's talking. He or she knows what they're talking about already, because after I said CF, I was punching up Moss, and then I got distracted, and that is the laggard that will work. That will work, and that's a good post. Then we could look at NTRA. I get it. That was the old NTR. That was a CF one. There's NTR looking the same as Moss. Then I go to a little ADM. See what ADM is doing, Archer Daniel. They got some
looks
in
good.
there. Wheat, as we go, we had McDougal. One guy was buying wheat in here all the way down. I hope this freaking guy got paid. Remember?
Yeah.
The guy we had in the room that was buying all the way at 5.
Yeah.
But you know what? CF is the leader.
Yeah, and Hugh Henry call and a Mike Venezia call at the lows.
And he wanted to get sexy for the one that could really fly, for the low floater is IPI. That one, forget about it. This one could really, I mean, this one has a big
What they do, IPI. Fertilizer?
They're green too. They're they're into agriculture.
That looks pretty.
IPI.
That looks, look at CF. Great call by you.
CF
guys.
was, and by the way, our guest called CF. We had a guest down here called
Hugh Henry.
Yes,
Hugh
bravo, by the way. Good. And by the way, he put me on it, and that was only because the rotation was evident. If that was like Nokia, or if that was like the Macy's, I wouldn't be that interested in it.
We were 60 when he's talked about it. Yep.
All right. So as Sully said, Moss is the one, and I'm going to build into it. I like it.
Hey, Sully, welcome to the room.
Thanks, Sully.
How'd you hear about us? How'd you hear about us, Sully? If you're watching.
Yes, there you go, Sully. NTR bullish. They're buying some July calls. I get it. Where's the earnings? August 2nd. So we have 3 weeks, or whatever. We have 3 weeks until that comes up. So NTR, somebody's got the right idea, backing up CF. Let's see if they have. Leave it this way, Coach. Any other ones? Barfly, Intel bullish, no interest. WBA, there's the other CVS. So somebody had the right idea. Walgreens, but that doesn't say much. Rig I like. So we'll leave it there, guys. It's my job to post. GDX bullish going into August. They're pounding it again. I don't blame them. Chewy, CCL, big deal. And that's about it, guys. CVS, another one. They started off an hour ago. Where's CVS? Hold on. So bottom line is these calls started going off an hour ago.
I don't like that chart.
There's an hour ago.
Yeah.
Could have went with the calls.
Well, now. Yeah.
No, I don't like it either, but the calls did go off.
Yeah.
I mean, the place to buy CVS is right here. The gap fill between 71, right here. Boom, boom. This is the place to buy CVS, about right there. 71.80. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that chart, everything depends on TF. So the daily looks good.
Okay. We'll leave it at that, guys. Price action range and good volume. And until now, keep in mind, I posted the earnings calendar yesterday. If you did miss it, you can always go back to the red YouTube button and play yesterday's video and pause it. I'll post it again. But remember that option flow might be a little bit skewed. So what's really important about it going into earnings, and this is for whatever day it is, it's really just like it's about how they finish in the day. The retail money is usually in the morning and the smart guys are at the end. It's the same with these options flow into earnings. The gamblers are going to either play it, smart guys are going to hedge it, but what happens afterwards where they back it up is really where you're going to see some sort of base or some sort of run afterwards, if you will. Coach?
Great broadcast, Mike.
Yeah, appreciate
it. Nice job, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So stay informed, and you do it by watching our live streams and see everyone in the room. Yes, thank you, my trading warrior.
Always have a plan, trade well, Coach. It's an honor. It gets more honor every day. And our viewers are starting to realize as well. We appreciate that. Thanks for the